I am here with the Razer Deathadder 2013. I'm going to do this review a little bit differently now because one, I have a new camera lens and I just want to try it out. So if it's not focused and stuff like that, sorry, I'm a total amateur when it comes to photography. But on to the review. You may have seen this in my comparison to the G400, but this is the brand new Deathadder 2013 edition. So the changes from the 3.5 or the 3.5G version are pretty significant. Nothing has changed in the overall contours of the design. The basic feel is pretty much the same. It's just kind of an up in overall quality in general, including they got rid of the rubberized grip that is on all kinds of products now, and they've replaced it with just this really awesome plastic finish. It's you know, it's hard to explain because it's so simple, but it has just enough texture that it just feels really high quality with the plastic compared to the rubberized grip that was in previous versions. And of course they've done away altogether with any of the glossiness, which is something they've done with the 2013 edition of the Razer Ultimate also, which is a huge improvement. That stuff just needs to go away forever. The fingerprint magnet stuff, I think you know what I'm talking about. So one other improvement they made is this is a rubber grip, but it's a true rubber grip, almost like what you would feel on a basketball right here and on the other side where your pinky is going to rest. And it makes it just have this great feel of the point, you know, the main contact points where you'll be gripping the mouse with your thumb and your two fingers here on the other side. It just makes such a strong improvement there that you wouldn't even think it's a big deal, but it's a pretty big deal. I say the grip alone and then the plastic finish, just this new finish alone, have made this kind of my current go-to mouse. Everything else, the lighting is nice, but nothing's changed. You have the Razer logo on the top that lights up and pulses and all that, and of course the scroll wheel. You don't have a choice of lighting, it's just always the green with the Razer green. Another improvement is the side buttons here, the forward and back buttons, which I just think are such a great feel with the push. The placement is still the same. It's just, I think they're one of the best, greatest placed buttons for forward and back because it allows you to grip the mouse, and it's just this natural contour of your thumb that lets you kind of roll over it to use it. It's just super awesome. They've added, or well, I'm not sure if the previous version had it, but they now have the braided cable, which I think is really nice, especially since this is an optical mouse. And a lot of optical mice out there, they tend to skimp on, and they don't give you kind of the premiums, and this one does. I mean, it's a little more expensive, but it's definitely worth it. Asking price, I think, is $59.99 on the Razer store. If it might be $69, but I think it's $59.99. On Amazon, I think you could get about 10 or 15 bucks cheaper if you're lucky. One of the few Razer products that I think is priced accurately for what you get. I think it's worth the money for that cost. And you know, just like the old Razer, I won't get too much into it. The grip is more designed for a palm grip, which works great. It works great for the claw grip also. Like I mentioned in my comparison to the G400, the Deathadder, the hump is a little bit more forward, which makes it kind of rest on the tip of your fingers there. So it's a unique feel, but it's very comfortable, and your fingers naturally kind of grip the sides into this really nice contour. So overall, I'm just extremely impressed with this. You know, usually my reviews, I tend to list a lot of negatives to you know, be very honest about, you know, showing that it's a true product review. I guess my only complaints about this one is it doesn't feel cheap. I know I've said it, it's very solidly built, but it's also kind of, it does have that plastic feel that's no different from the other ones. You know, it doesn't have that solid feel like some Logitech products. You won't see it here because I have Teflon feet as guards. The feet that come with it are pretty small, so surface area on the friction is pretty light, so it doesn't glide as smooth as some of the ones with the big feet there. Tracking and accuracy, this is the most important thing. Hands down, this is the most accurate mouse I've ever used. It goes up to 6400 DPI, which is really high for an optical. It's an infrared optical sensor. They're calling it the 4G infrared sensor. 6400 DPI with XY variable axis adjustments. I don't think I've seen another optical mouse that does that lets you adjust the X and Y. That's kind of a unique technology there for opticals. Of course, lasers do that. And it also lets you adjust the increments of your DPI settings as much as you want. A lot of optical sensors come hard-coded with specific DPI settings. This one comes, with Razer Synapse, lets you adjust all those settings just like they do with their laser mice. So, like I said, tracking and accuracy is just perfect. There's no prediction, no, angle snapping, no acceleration on this thing. It's just I compare my other mice to this all the time, but it's the one true one-to-one. When I move it, my sensor moves too, as long as there's not other hardware issues getting in the way, or, sometimes, like games like Crysis 3 and Crysis 2, they have input lag kind of built into them for whatever reason. But if it's just the hardware, if it's just the mouse, you're getting one-to-one accuracy, which is just awesome. And, like I said, that's beyond... there's a lot of things that kind of contribute to input lag, but this mouse won't do it. It won't contribute. It's just super clean tracking and accuracy. So as far as I can say, I know I'm kind of raving about this, but it's an awesome mouse, and the pricing is good. If you can get this thing for $50, it's way worth it.